So, today we're going to be talking a little dirty, and I'm talking laundry. This may be a little different, and this may be a little weird. Like, why are you showing us how to do laundry? Let me tell you, because it has recently come to my attention that there are some grown people who don't know how to do laundry. And honestly, it kind of baffles me because this is something I learned in middle school, like early middle school, like how to do my own laundry. And so I feel like this is just something everybody should know. And if you don't know, I'm here to show you. And if you do know, this is just some steps to reiterate what you already know. So there are a few things that you're going to need. You're going to need, obviously, a washer. I guess a dryer could be optional if you like to hang dry. You're going to need some detergent, which is what actually washes the clothes, is the soap. Fabric softener could be optional. It just adds a little extra smell, helps to boost the smell good part, you know, and it makes the fabric actually feel softener. Fabric softener, funny. And bleach, which could be optional, but that's only used if you're doing whites. So here I have a front loader washer and dryer, and my washer is here on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up the front and open up the compartments. So here I have separated my laundry, and that's a really important step. So here I have the bedding, the colors, the whites, and the socks. And an important step is because you don't want the colors to bleed onto the whites. So here I have the colors and the whites separated, and just the washing of each section is important because it's each washed differently. So here I'm going to demonstrate washing the bedding because it's kind of a heavier and thicker material. And so I'm going to go over here and grab some detergent, and it is important to be aware of the amount that is being used, because too much won't be rinsed properly and not enough won't be washed. So here I just have a quarter of a cap, just because I'm not using too much, but it's not a small load. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour that into the detergent compartment, and then I'm going to go over here and use the fabric softener just to add some extra smells and make the fabric softer. So you also want to just be aware of how much you're using of this as well, just because, again, you don't want too much so it's not rinsed well enough and not enough to where you don't notice it. So there, just my important into the softener compartment. I'm going to go ahead and close that and close the front door. And so I'm going to go ahead and press the power button to turn on the washer, because that's an important part. So here we have a bunch of options of what we want to use, just because different options means different ways of washing, whereas whites are longer. And so here, bedding, we're going to do this because it washes it longer, whereas like a normal wash would be shorter. So here the temperature is warm, and it turned to cold, I don't know why, but the spin cycle, like the intensity of it, we turned it to low, and then the soil level we just left on normal. And here you can see that's a longer wash for an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and press the start button and just let the load wash. I just wanted to go over the main points again, just to make sure that everything was understood, that I showed in the demonstration. So the first thing was I separated all my clothing, and so I separate my whites from my colors, as well as my bedding from my delicates. And so I like to separate my whites from my colors, just because I don't want the colors to accidentally bleed on my white clothing and then get it ruined, and you know, it just causes frustration. And then, you know, so it's better just to avoid that, just in case. And the other reason is I separate my bedding from like my delicates and stuff, because my bedding, you know, bedding is thicker and it is a larger material than actual clothes, and so it is a deeper clean, and it cleans longer, and so it is a more intense cycle, like a spin. And so obviously my delicates are delicate, and so I separate them just because I want to put it on the correct cycle. And also a cool tip that I learned is if you wash your socks separately, it's less of a chance that you lose your socks, because I don't know about you guys, but I lose socks randomly. So that's just a cool tip. Another point that I would like to emphasize is making sure you use the correct amount of detergent. I kid you not, I know people who will wash one thing, literally one item, like a pair of jeans or something, and use like a full cap of detergent. And not only is that just a waste, but like it won't be rinsed properly. And so being sure that you are using the correct ratio of detergent to the amount of clothes you're washing is very important, because if you have too much, it's not going to be rinsed properly, and it'll feel weird, smell weird, because it's like half rinsed. But if you have too little, it won't be washed. It'll literally just been spinning in water. So just being careful that we're using the same amount, or the correct amount of detergent, is very important. And then the last point I just want to emphasize is choosing the correct setting, because choosing the correct setting will prolong the wear of our clothes and the appearance of our clothes, because delicates are washed different than bedding or sanitized. You know, delicates are washed different than sportswear. They've been sweating in and being dirty in, and so I think it's just important to make sure that we choose the correct setting to prolong the longevity of our clothes and the appearance. And so just being cautious about that and making sure we're actually paying attention. And so hopefully this helped. Hopefully we're now more aware of how to correctly wash clothes, and people who don't know now know kind of like an overall thing of how to wash clothes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.